customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
Fifth Street Sports, folks. We're back Thursday afternoon, Las Vegas, Nevada, 1 p.m. Unbelievably gorgeous day out here. We're on Sports Byline, USA Radio Network, American Forces, iHeart, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, and also on TuneIn and Twitch. Well, my name's Frank Perez, and I am joined in-house with Chip Chirimbus and, of course, my brilliant co-host, Oklahoma Brian. We got a great show for you today. Chip is on fire. Brian, documented Vegas insider, last 24 NBA games. He's 22-2.
I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. I think we should throw him in a lake and see if he's a witch or not.
Well, I'll take any litmus test you want, because there was a time in early January where I lost 8 straight days, so our 8 straight best bets. And it's the ebb and flow of the season, Brian. I mean, hopefully they're there with us when we get hot.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, great run. I enjoyed every bit of it. Looking forward to see what you have today.
I am. I have 3 more up there tonight, and I like them all.
Nice.
And Brian, I got to ask you today, because today is, I think, the best opportunity for these dogs to bust these brackets up some more. So we're gonna ask for you to pick your brain on this final 16, and hopefully, and these dogs are gonna start barking. Come on, buddy.
Hey, this is the most exciting day of the year. We've been waiting all year to find out who the final CBI teams will be. We'll know within 6 hours. And then the great news is we got best of 3 to settle it. So
wow.
That always gives us something to work with. It does.
So, hey, speaking of thrills and excitements, what do you think would be more watched, the AAF Super Bowl or the CBI final if it goes 1-1 in games?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
The AAF will have better coverage.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And they're
the
going
AAF
under
might not be around. Yeah.
Well, they should. I mean, they are professional football players. But, folks, when we come back, we got a great show. Chip Chirimbus, Oklahoma Brian, Frank Perez on Fifth Street Sports. We'll be back after a break.
For years, they said that it could lead to madness. They relegated it to dark rooms and back alleys. They shamed those who grew it. They did a stop and frisk on anyone they thought might have it. But now a completely new era has begun because of it. The new normal is here. This month, millions have witnessed its arrival. Have you? Brought to life in a short film that runs only 2 minutes long, the new normal seeks to leave behind 80 years of unjust prohibition in favor of a safer, happier world. It reveals a product that once drove good people to the black market as one that today is creating a new global market. In this new era, a plant that was viewed with fear now represents a source of calm and wellness. From this day forward, what inspired the symbol of counterculture is at long last just culture. The new normal has arrived to your city, to your neighborhood, to the inside of your living room. Watch it now. Experience the new normal at medmen.com.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
Fifth Street Sports, folks. We're back on Sports Byline USA Radio Network, American Forces, iHeart, TuneIn, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Here we go. We're in the house today in Vegas. We got Chip Chirimbus every Thursday at least. I'm trying to get him on some more. This guy's been red hot, 22-2. Anyways, Brian, I just got to get your clarification because this is your cover story, this LSU. How much do you think a strong ass offer is? It's not tennis shoes or pizza or nothing, right?
Yeah. Well, I've heard some numbers tossed around in terms of what the overall payroll for the team was, but yeah, there was another story that came out today in terms of this relationship between Will Wade, the players he was recruiting, and the story identifies the middleman who was an AAU coach in Baton Rouge that was involved in the recruitment of these players. Some pretty startling quotes. Basically they print the wiretaps that the FBI has on this, on these phone calls. But one of the really standout ones was this guy describing like who he had, who he thought they could get. They basically, at one point in the article, he basically says that. This is what the guy says. He says, "I met with Shannon Foreman, who has Javonte Smart and 2 kids in the Elite 24 games." He goes on to say, at the end of it, he says, he also wants to give us Brandon Sampson. That's the way, that was the quote. He wants to give us. It sounds like they're dealing property or
It's a
something
commodity,
a lot
without
worse.
a doubt.
It really is. This isn't going to end well, and it's going to extend a lot wider than LSU, that's for sure.
Now, Brian, are any of these, because they're using wiretaps and everything, are any of these things like potential jail time?
Well, sure, absolutely not for the.
Right? It would have to be.
Yeah, exactly. Right, just like Chip said, wire fraud. What actually makes it worse is it happened at a state university. So most states have a law that basically says if you use a state office to commit a crime, like bribery, that there's additional charges for that. There's going to be charges potentially if they put them under oath here in about a month at this trial. If they don't, I'm just sure that Justice Department.
Smollett under oath. I don't know if that matters anymore. But I have a question, Brian. Do you think anybody is clean out there?
Good question.
Any of these universities, is there anybody that's clean? It just seems like everybody's involved in this, and otherwise you don't have a talented team.
You know what? The cynic in me says no, Chip. I don't. Among the winning teams, I don't think you can compete in this business, and that includes That includes, I want to say, everyone, every elite team. I know I'm not going to mention any teams in particular because there's a few teams that people say, well, wait a minute. You can't mean that X, Y, or Z are on the list. They would never cheat. Their coach is a good guy. But no, man, I've heard stories about every one of them. And I honestly, I think it's like Lance Armstrong and doping. My dad used to tell me he didn't think that Lance Armstrong doped. And I said, Dad, come on. Like, there's no way you can compete in that sport if you're not.
Yeah, but I think it was the guy that came in 22nd was the only one that didn't test positive. So
yes,
that's the Tour de France, so they can have that. But I was just wondering about this. All these schools now, you've got North Carolina has never been accused of giving a player any money, but North Carolina will have someone else taking their exams while they're in school. So one way or another, they're getting through it. So I'm just wondering if the schools like Duke and the the Kentuckys, is Calipari somehow giving these kids that are going to be one and done money just to come for that 1 year, or they can go anywhere for 1 year? So
yes.
Well, we know he got in trouble before, and somehow how they've gone through masking this, and they think, Brian, would you say the AAU is the biggest problem with it?
Yeah, it's a combination. It's the AAU, and it manifests itself in two ways. You've got the sneaker companies who have a financial, incentive to steer these kids in a particular direction, and throwing, $50,000 at a 18-year-old is nothing to them. And then the most insidious part are these guys that aren't even sports agents. They're like, they're like the minions, like they call them the runners, literally, of agents, and they get 0.1% or 0.25% for going out and soliciting these kids and signing these kids up, at an early age. And so, and it all, and it all ties back to the AAU. And as far as Calipari goes, I mean, is there any doubt? What I hear most frequently from from coaches and people involved in the industry is just that he's the best. He's he's got the most efficient operation in terms of creating separation between himself.
Yeah. You know what I was going to ask you? So, Brian, what are the rumors on this strong ass offer? What kind of numbers have you heard?
I don't remember, but it's in some of the earlier articles. What was it, like 120? I don't remember the exact number, but it was a good offer. I think actually another quote was that he offered to pay him the rookie minimum. That's what he had offered. Smart.
Well, didn't Reggie Bush get $250,000? Isn't that the amount they came up with? Well, he was a football player at USC, but still.
Yeah, and that's 15 years ago, right?
We're talking a lot of money.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's a wild and wacky country. If I would have told you 25 years ago that you're going to have Bill Cosby or 50 Cent, one guy would be in jail for sexual assault and the other guy would be doing Disney movies, who would you have picked?
Yeah.
Are you sure 50 Cent is doing Disney movies?
Yes, he's all involved with Walt Disney and doing all kinds of stuff. And Bill Cosby, Mr. America, Mr. Funny, your grandpa in the living room by the fireplace is actually, was actually putting girls under and taking advantage of them. And 50 Cent is over there with Mickey Mouse and everybody.
50 Cent has had a great career. Totally.
I mean, come on. What's it coming to? Like, so do you think any of the top 20 schools are going to come out of this with completely harmless or blameless?
Well, I think you have to ask yourself, what does the NCAA actually want to find? I mean, are they motivated to actually produce a investigation that actually turns up anything? Or, I mean, it's really kind of a bizarre situation because I don't know that they really want to.
About St. John's, I mean, they can't get anyone to go there. I mean, they have an 11-man roster and they're from 8 different countries and nobody speaks the same language. And I'm wondering, do they have to give them money, Brian, or is the fact that they're just happy to come here and be able to play basketball in America is the incentive to come? And a place like St. John's isn't giving anybody anything.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
good
figure
question.
it out. Who'd want to go into Queens? Who'd want to go? Syracuse might have a little bit more attraction with the Carrier Dome, but who's going to go to Providence or who's going to go to these schools? I don't
Sure.
see them competing.
Well, I know one thing. My UNLV running Rebels are coming out of this clean. They haven't paid it. They haven't paid anybody.
Well, they also haven't been in a postseason in the last 6-7 years, and they've even
Right,
had good enough records.
right, but
they turned down invitations to the NIT because they had to host games here, and they didn't want to host them. And,
It looks like
'cause they were going to lose a bundle of money.
It looks like they found a coach, though, huh?
Well, he's a jackrabbit. We were talking about South Dakota State last week.
The guy's a good coach. I think that's a really good hire. And I think that if I were a UNLV fan, I'd be really happy with that selection.
I don't know if you've seen any of the UNLV games today, but this year, but they really didn't look like. It looked like they were just going through the motions. Nobody had any real drive or any goal to win. It's just. It was hard to take if you were in attendance watching this team play.
Yeah.
One thing is we're lucky that UNLV has been doing very poorly, because I think if it was a Tarkanian era like 89 and 90, they would have probably been involved in all this. Oof. Hey, guys, Andrew's signaling me for a break. We got to come back after this timeout. Fifth Street Sports.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low-cost airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
At 28, I had struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I did and said things that the sober me never would have done. One day I realized I was not invincible. I was not exempt. And that's when a friend told me about elite rehab placement. They gave me the tools I needed to get sober, and all it took was the one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. That's 800-403-5912.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com. That's MYEVOZ.com to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
Fifth Street Sports, folks, we're back. Frank Perez, Chip Chirimbus, and Oklahoma Brian on Sports Byline USA Radio Network. Hey, Brian, I was just talking to Chip during the break. Now, I've been in Vegas 55 years, and all of my family, my niece, they paint themselves red. They go to the Rebel games. My nephew, they all graduated from UNLV and everything. Now, I was telling them, like, I know during the 70s, 80s, and 90s here in Vegas, half the dogs in this city were named Tark or Tarkanian. You know, because even my sister's current dog, he's a third-generation dog named Tarkanian, okay? So he's Tarkanian the third. Now, I was asking Chip, do you think my man Jerry was clean? Jerry Tarkanian?
I don't know how Jerry Tarkanian did what he did. He was probably the most successful of anybody because that 79, 80, and rather 89, 90 team, rather 91 team. Larry Johnson, Stacey Augman, Anderson Hunt. They had a number of outlaws on that team, and I can't say specifically. We don't know who took what or what happened, but how Jerry did this was amazing. And after Jerry, they moved him on. They brought in Raleigh Massimino, and they virtually greased the skids from him and wouldn't let him do anything. And Massimino was a great coach, and it's too bad he got stuck in this. After Jerry went, it's really been a really bad scene here.
He was, but Jerry was a Wild West recruiter. He used to tell the guys, all you repentant sinners, all the repentant sinning basketball players that have turned it around and want to study and play ball, come play ball for me. And that's how he built his team.
He was great. Didn't he have Fresno or Long Beach or something before that, I think? And he did great out there. But I was telling Frank, I said, when I first came to town, and I used to be running around in those days, and there was a hot place, Fridays, TGIF Fridays in Las Vegas, and it was around the campus, and I lived in that area, and I'd go on a Friday night, and you'd see 4 badass cowboys come in with these big leather dusters from the shoulders down to the ankles, and it was Anderson Hunt and Stacey Augman, who was my favorite, and this kid graded. 3 of them come sashaying in, and I said, what are these guys doing? Those coats are $2,000.
It was like the OK Corral.
Yeah.
It was like you seen Doc Holliday and all the boys coming in. That's how the Rebels were. They were outlaws out here.
Yeah, and they could do no wrong. There was no problem there, and we don't know how Stacey Augman ended up here out of Pasadena, Larry Johnson came from Texas, but they got here.
How did they get the $2,000 coats?
I don't know. Someone must have left it in the $60,000 Mercedes they drove up in, because that was in the garage when I was turning it out.
I think it's like with historians. They say you can't judge historical figures by today's standards, right? It's unfair. They lived in a different era. I think we'll just maybe we could say the same thing about UNLV in the 80s. 90s.
I'll say one thing about Jerry Tarkanian. He was a great coach. He didn't just have talent. And he did set an NCAA record with Reggie Theus and a team that scored the most offensive points, averaged over 100, like 18 or 15 for the season. And yet, this guy was one of the best defensive coaches in college basketball, and they won their NCAA championship by playing defense. And people don't quite realize that, but they came down and they played tough every time down. And like I said before, Stacey Augman was the most underrated player in the country that year.
Since I grew up here, I don't know if you remember the days they played at the convention center. Actually, the Beatles actually played at the convention center too. But the Rebels used to play at the convention center, and as kids, I think it was $3.25 or $3.50 to get in. We used to find a way to sneak into the convention center when Theus and all them guys played there.
And that team was legendary. I mean, that's what they call them, the running Rebels. They weren't kidding, and they put points up. They didn't win that much. I mean, they were okay, but the better teams played defense.
Now, Brian, do you think that Jerry and the boys and those kind of teams got away with it because it was pre-internet days?
1 second, guys. We actually got a message in from Facebook.com/Fifth Street Sports Talk from Shane Vernon. He had an interesting question, and I figured this probably wouldn't want to wait until the last segment here. Shane Vernon says he's asking about picks, which we'll do in the third segment, but he's curious on the Sweet 16 thoughts, and he said, man, it's a tough card. You guys rock, and thanks for great content. P.S. MLB is here, and you said, prove myself. First play of the year just hit. How can I submit my picks daily and prove myself? Thanks again. So, yeah.
So there's someone looking to send a free play out
Chip,
every day.
And by the way, Chip is going to be our handicap recruiter. So, Shane, by the way, what was your first picks? I hope it wasn't the Yankees minus 375. That doesn't count.
Really? But how about that Voigt? I love that in the first inning because I'm not a big Bird fan, and they were trying to push Bird into that spot. Batting fourth, he rocked a 438-foot homer.
Oh, yeah.
So baseball's here. This is like Christmas for me. This is opening day. There isn't too much better than this. I love it each and every day.
I do too. I can't believe that we're looking at a almost 400 favorite on opening day. That's
I've never seen anything like that.
Me too.
And
That's
how about the
late
number for
September.
the Orioles? 59.5 for the season, total wins.
And it dropped to 58.5 under -45. And I think that could be one of the best overplays on the
It probably. I mean, these are major leaguers, aren't they? I mean, for the most part. For the most part.
Now, you're not going to tell me that the College World Series team could beat the Orioles now, Brian, right?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. No, I would say probably the most elite college baseball would be the SEC, and I've heard people say that it's somewhere between single A and double A baseball on average. So no,
AAF is going down the tubes.
Here's one of the craziest ideas, but it would be so interesting. I know they'll never do it. I talk to Soccer Nick all the time, and he says, what would make Major League Baseball so interesting is if they did just like the soccer. The worst team in the American League, the worst team in the National League get relegated, and they bring up 2 AAA teams.
I would love it.
Me
I
too.
would love it, but you'll never get the owners to agree to that because it would destroy
That's not
the
happening.
value of their franchises.
Where did
That's
Nick
not
come up
happening.
with this one?
That's not well. Nick is always he thinks everything revolves around soccer, and soccer's got the greatest rules and the greatest everything. So now he wants to contaminate Major League Baseball with that. But I think that it would be a great thing. But Brian, getting back to my running Rebels, because I'm so proud of them that they're going to come out of this like Snow White. They did nothing wrong here. All these big teams, and it just goes to show you that that's why our Rebels have probably been an inferior team because they haven't been cheating.
With all the defections, can they actually put a team on the court right now? Do they have enough players? I mean, they've had like 4 or 5 guys that have already left. Not that we're coming here to have been committed here. These are people that are already here that are bailing out in the transfer period of time. So they're going to be very, very young or very, very raw unless he gets guys out of the JC, the junior colleges. They should be in big trouble next year as well. New coach or not.
Right. No, you're absolutely right, Chip. I think he does have a pretty strong pipeline, though, to junior college basketball. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually
the only way they can go.
Advantage. Yeah.
Now, Brian, would this go down? Would they cheat in the junior college basketball too?
Why not?
You think so?
That's a good question. I don't know. I not at this. There's no money in junior college basketball. I think that there are small towns in America that have junior colleges that want to win, and they probably cut corners in other ways. Maybe academics or. Well, I mean, the perfect example is the Last Chance U show. You should check that out if you haven't already seen that. It's one of the best documentaries made on sports in the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, now here's one for you guys. Do you think that this is happening in college women's sports also?
Well, I think they have a different type of recruiting.
So you're going to tell me that the girls are pure, like the University of Connecticut hasn't given these girls nothing? Or
you remember Maya Moore, 4-time All-American, University of Connecticut, 4-time national champion? Maya Moore had committed to Tennessee. And Gino Aramina, when she came to Connecticut, she said to him she had already committed to Tennessee, and this is what caused the big conflict between Pat Summitt and Gino, was when he said to Maya Moore, "I didn't know you were gay."
Really?
And she and
there's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
No, he said he didn't know, he meant it, and she became offended and defensive. She goes, "Well, I'm not gay," and then he said, "Well, then why are you going to Tennessee? That's what their basketball team is known for." So she dropped out of Tennessee and went to Connecticut. She was the best player in the country. So how they get them there varies, I guess, on who they're dealing with.
I had never heard that story, but those Summit and Ariel
You know
definitely
that,
hated
well,
each other.
being from Connecticut and having people from the university that went there and stuff, they told me this story a while back, and this is why Summit and Gino never got along. I mean, they wouldn't even play each other in exhibitions, and Pat Summit was really furious about this.
Really?
Wow.
Boy, that's interesting. See, there's a story you only hear on Fifth Street Sports, but yeah.
I gotta say though, looking back on your theory, Frank, on Rick Pitino coming to UNLV, I was skeptical. I gotta be honest. I never thought it was gonna happen. But when I turned on the TV last night and saw that UNLV has a female athletic director, I knew there was no way that was ever gonna happen.
Yeah, probably. But you know what? He'd be great for the city, and he'd probably be even better for the team, because this is Las Vegas.
Hey, but come on! I mean, like even Abbott and Costello used to say it. All the every wolf comes out at midnight, and so do the men. Okay, I mean, come on. I mean, Rick Pitino's a pretty solid guy. He might. Who knows what's going on, these guys, with this sexual harassment crap.
Well, I don't know if it was so much harassment with him as it was. Didn't he have an affair on some dining table in an Italian restaurant? And when they were through, whatever it was, Rick, it's okay, Paisan.
Yeah.
Come back to UNLV.
We'll be back, folks. Fifth Street Sports.
It's 2019! Why listen to the tournament on the radio? That thing was invented before basketball itself. You also pen letters to your paramour, navigate with a sextant. While you were catnapping on the Davenport, your buddies made a beeline to B-dubs, where they can revel in beer and wings and instant replay and clothes that aren't made of felt. So, you gonna listen to what an OT thriller looks like? Or are you gonna watch every game from every region on every one of our newfangled flat screens? Buffalo Wild Wings! Roar! Please drink responsibly.
Trade pros. Whether you specialize in service or new construction, Ferguson knows firsthand how much work goes into a long day on the job, which is why we're committed to offering the products and solutions to get every job done right. With over 1,000 locations, an unmatched selection of specialty products, tools, and supplies, our pro pickup and same or next day delivery, you can trust that doing business with Ferguson will be the easiest part of your hard day's work. Visit Ferguson.com to find a counter location near you.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more.
800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Attention business owners. Now is the perfect time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. We can give you packages with up to 90 great channels and save your business a ton of cash. And if you call right now, you can learn how to get free equipment and free installation. Now you have choices. It's time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. And call today and get 90 channels plus free equipment and free installation. Smart business owners like you all across the country are consolidating and saving money on their cable TV, internet, and phone service for their business. So now's the perfect time. This may be a limited time offer to the first 100 people that call right now. So please save money and call now.
800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. That's 800-470-7113.
Fifth Street Sports, folks. We're back. Talk you can bet on segment. Chip Chirimbus, Oklahoma Brian. I'm Frank Perez. I am going to give you my first opening day baseball play after these experts here at chipwins.com. 22-2 documented on Vegas Insider. None of this hyping crap. Brian, and obviously one of our listeners on Facebook would like to know your opinion also on these last 16 teams left in the NCAA tournament. What are you thinking about?
You looking at me? Yeah, I'll go first. Okay, sure. Yeah, in the NCAA tournament tonight, I got a couple plays that I like a lot, and then we'll get to the real story, which is the CBI. After we knock out these NCAA games, I like FSU getting points a lot tonight. I think that 7.5 points, too many points for a incredibly athletic FSU team that I think will give Gonzaga some real fits. I think they could. I know the game is in Anaheim, but I think FSU could actually win this game. I actually easily see them winning this game. I love 7.5 with FSU.
Brian, I had mentioned to Frank that I thought that was a really strong number. That Florida State's a really good basketball team, and they could possibly win this game. But the number to me looked like a little easier to take FSU than Gonzaga. So that was my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. 7.5 points.
I got a question for you, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Booker T. Washington shirt out of Miami that you're wearing?
No, it's Booker T. Washington out of Tulsa, the real Booker T.
Not the national champions out of Miami. This is the real one from Tulsa. Okay.
These guys have been national champions a lot themselves. They're both. And I'm familiar with the Miami version of Booker T because I'm from South Florida. But
they've been out in Vegas. They've exchanged home and away games with Bishop Gorman out here. They've been out here and played Bishop Gorman and St. Thomas Aquinas out of Fort Lauderdale. They've got some really big time football in South Florida. And I just saw the Booker T. Washington, and I said, what's he doing with that? But I guess Tulsa has to live up to the name.
Hey, now,
right.
now, let me throw you guys one out that I know for sure. What is the nickname of Bishop Gorman High School? And I know this one for sure because I graduated from Bishop Gorman in '77.
Oh, that's the same with the St. Mary's, right? Same as St. Mary's.
The Gales, the Bishop Gorman Gales are our, and those were our colors, blue and orange.
And they play. They play all over.
I'll just put a plug in for the Booker T of Tulsa, number 6 player in the country this year in high school football. It came out of out of Booker T in Tulsa. So
where's he going to school?
Going to Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, then you know he can play.
You think he got any tennis shoes for going there?
I'm not going to say. He's a good kid, and I hope.
I know they're all good kids.
His brother will be a fairly high draft pick, by the way, in the NFL. His brother's Justice Hill at Oklahoma State.
Nice.
So, okay. Actually, and by the way, this Anaheim regional, I've actually got 2 alma maters playing in it, and I might be a homer, but I like them both. In addition to FSU, I like Texas Tech a lot tonight.
I agree.
You agree with that?
Well, I'm using Texas Tech tonight, and it's not my top play, but I think it's a strong play, strong side. I do like it. Michigan's been so disappointing in crucial games. They just haven't lived up to the hype, I guess.
What's the spread in that game, Ryan?
It's around 1.5, and I normally try to discourage people from buying too many points because it's a bad habit to get into. But this is a game I would buy to 2 without even hesitating, because this game's going to be a low-scoring game. I could see this game coming down to the last possession, and I'd sure rather be taking points than giving them, even with a small spread like this.
I saw 2s out there, Brian, and I wouldn't be surprised if you can it even gets to 2.5. And if it does, I'll buy it to 3 if I see that. Without doubt.
Totally agree.
Wow, so you like that? Okay, what else you got here?
I liked Purdue actually a decent amount in the Tennessee game. I'm just not I'm not a believer in Tennessee's ability to win a big game. I actually thought they were vastly underrated earlier in the year. I played them a lot. I think they're kind of overrated at this point, and I don't know. I guess it's kind of similar. I'd rather take 2 than lay 2. I think there's a little value on Purdue. Not great, but that's the side I'd play.
Brian, don't you think that line with Tennessee being 1.5 is really very inviting to the public?
I do.
I mean, Tennessee's been sort of like the flash or the glory or the darlings of the public this year. And they caught that flash early. They beat Kentucky, but since then they've been a middle of the roader in big games. They lost the SEC championship to Auburn, and here they are now, a meager a 1 point favorite over Purdue. I thought it was kind of short.
Yeah.
Okay, now now for the real. I mean, are you done with the big tournament and ready for the super big tournament?
Well, I've already picked 3 out of 4 games. Might as well pick the 4th. I like Virginia. But I hate the fact that the lines moved up to 8.5. It was a steal when it opened at 6.5, 7. But I'd still lean that direction if I was betting it. I think it might be a really inviting game to bet interactive. I think that if Virginia gets the upper hand on Oregon, I think it could be a boat race. And I like the under a lot in the Texas Tech game, and I would lean under in the FSU game. But of course, the total's down to 124.5. So a lot of value lost, but man, it feels like a game that's going to be played in the 50s.
You know, Brian, the total I can't miss out on, I can't let go, is between Oregon and Virginia. And here we have Virginia, one of the top defensive teams in the country, only allowing 55 points in the entire year. And Oregon only allowing 53.8 during their 10-game winning streak right now. They've won 10 in a row. So trying to get, rather than getting involved in covering the number, I think this is just going to be a grind. These two teams are going to be fighting and scratching and clawing the whole time. I don't see how it goes over. I think 159 was the number, and somebody would have to score 60. I think this game's going to be in the low 50s.
That makes sense. Yeah, I totally agree.
Now, Brian, where is how about some CBI gold?
Some CBI gold. Wow. Well, yeah, the real game, we should say. I know that these NCAA games are like a little appetizer, a little morsel to before the real game tonight. Actually, the real game's actually probably the first game. Loyola Marymount goes to South Florida. I like Loyola Marymount getting 4 in this game. I actually like them on the money line. I think they win this game, and I think they advance to the CBI.
Well, I don't want any part of this South Florida because they beat me with that Utah State when I was here. I think it was Monday night. The only loser I had of the day. So the Bulls are a little confusing for me. They had lost 5 straight at home. Then they covered handily against Utah State. Now they're 4. And this team has come a long way from home to play in South Florida. I think it's in Orlando, right? Yeah, that's where the game is.
Oh, is it in Orlando?
Isn't it? South Florida's the home team.
Oh, no, South Florida's in Tampa.
I'm sorry.
But, yeah, but still, you're right. Same idea.
Yeah.
Huge trip. And the winner earns the right to play for the 127th best team in the country title.
Hey.
Best of 3, though. You got to win 2 out of 3.
One thing I have to say about this is, like, every year I hear these commentators and these talking heads on all these sports channels saying, why do we even bother having the NIT? Why do we bother having these tournaments? And, this proves to me that these guys aren't athletes. They're just talking heads. If you were a player, Brian, and when I played my college career, if you told me I could extend my career for 5, 6 more games, and I had an opportunity to go to New York and play basketball, why wouldn't I want to do it? And why did they begrudge these kids a chance to do that when they say, the NIT is an also-ran tournament, they don't need it? This is a chance for these kids to play, to travel, to life's experiences. I vehemently get upset when I hear these guys begrudging it and putting it down. And like I said, if I was in college and you gave me an opportunity to play 6 more games and to go to New York and play basketball, I mean, that's a gift.
Sure. And it's great preparation for next year for young teams to kind of get
that's the
mentality.
other part with it. And, it's good for a team to be able to pat themselves on the back and saying, yeah, well, we made it here, we did it there. And like you said, the exposure and the growth of your program and the players. Playing in tournament conditions and playing in hostile environments, it can't do anything but make you better.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. Although I do chuckle at the camera angles that are used frequently in these games. It seems like they go out of their way to not show you how empty the crowd is. Like, they'll show you that camera angle from behind the basket at the guy shooting free throws. You seem to see a lot more of that in the in the CBI games than you
Well,
would
the
in a
production value of the broadcast, of course, is going to be a lot different. I mean, they have an individual camera just to follow Zion Williamson. They've added an extra camera just to follow him every move he makes on the court.
Yeah.
So they're willing to spend it some places, and they have to, like you said, we have to make amends in others.
See, but
Vegas. How much is Zion making off of that deal?
Ooh.
Well, I don't know. I thought, like I said before, I would have caused a real big stink and said I refuse to wear these Nikes. Bring in Adidas and let Duke deal with it with Nike, and then sue them both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Brian, see, now Vegas would have the right marketing tool for these CBI games. A lot of these shows, the Barry Manilow and all these strip shows, there's actually a website here where you can subscribe to that they will send you an alert that the show's only 50% full, and you can go to those shows that particular night for free. Because there's nothing worse than going to like a show, especially a Barry Manilow show, and it's half empty.
When you say free, do you mean free, or do you mean like just a cover cost?
Sometimes free, sometimes a $129 show, like two people for $25. Unbelievable deals, but a lot of the times free, and it makes sense. Let's say you're at the Westgate and it's a 1,500-room auditorium to see Barry Manilow, and the show's at 7:30. At 3 o'clock, you got 600 tickets. You're not going to get sold out. If you were to say to the last, let's say 600 or 700 people, you can come in for free. It doesn't cost you nothing. You're only selling a free air seat. They might gamble.
Well, the
show looks full.
And at least they have to pay for parking now.
They have to pay for parking. Now, in these CBI games, if they were absolutely free, say free to the folks, you know what I mean? Now, they could come in there, they could maybe buy something at the concessions, pay for parking, get a souvenir, buy a hat. The place looks jam-packed.
Doesn't the student body get in for like $2 or a student pass virtually as it is? I mean,
they're typically, these games are actually free.
But not to the general public, just to the student body.
Yeah.
Listen, it's all TV revenue with these guys anyway because they're not. Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that AAF.
Yeah, charges money. Hey, guys,
going down.
We're starting to run this segment. Let me give you my two. Today in baseball, because I told everybody I got a good baseball guy. My two plays, one has already gone off. Snell, I like Snell over Verlander, getting $1.15 at home. But there's one left, a really nice play. Came in real strong. I really like it. Seattle with Gonzalez taking $1.83 at home against Sale.
Traditionally, up until the last season, I know the Red Sox have always struggled when they've gone to play in Seattle. Or there's certain places where they've always had their issues on road trips. Kansas City was one for a while, but Seattle certainly was one too.
Hey, Chip, we got 40 seconds. We haven't heard from Chip Wins. What's your free play tonight?
Like I said, the game I'm giving for free tonight in the NCAA is for that Oregon-Virginia game to stay under the total. With the Oregon under 10-game win streak, only allowing 53.8 points in that 10-game span, and Virginia being one of the best defensive teams in the country for years. I mean, it's been 137 years now. I think they've been a top defensive team, and they've only allowed 55 points a game. I think
thought
that game
Texas
stays
Tech
under.
was the best defensive team in the country.
Well, I mean, they're 1, 2, and 3. Are in the
1-1.
tournament, but they've been one of the best. It's just
I'm with you.
They're there, and I love that. I love his Texas Tech play because of the defense as well. Brian, good luck
Nick,
with that.
we got it. We'll be back, guys. Timeout. Fifth Street Sports.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down, 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
All right, guys, Fifth Street Sports. I'm Frank Perez, Chip Chirimbis, and Oklahoma Brian. Here we go. We got 2 picks in from Florida Rick, guys. NBA Rick has come in on 2 plays. He likes NBA. He likes Orlando plus 3.5, Milwaukee under 234. Brian, you match with August Pritzlaff, and you match with 2 other sharp accounts on FSU plus 7.5. Chip likes it. Texas Tech under, Virginia under. You match Rick with Orlando, right?
Yeah, that's in the NBA tonight. That was my lead play. I used Orlando against who they play.
I didn't look at the NBA.
Detroit, I think, is a 3.5-point favorite. After a long road trip, they come back going 1-3.
There we go.
Straight up, or 1-4 straight up. So played against them tonight.
Bo Brian, and congratulations yesterday. I forgot to mention on your Lipscomb outright winner over whatchamacallit, 94-93 against NC State, I think it was.
Yes, they beat NC State.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, I don't know if you guys saw this. It just came across the wire. Greg Schiano abruptly stepping down as Patriots defensive coordinator after just a few weeks on the job.
Wow. I wonder what that's all about.
Well, he says it's to spend more time with his family. That's usually not a good. That's usually not the real answer when people say that. So
yeah, that's like
either that or having health problems.
Right. That's like in the WNBA when the girls miss and they say personal issue. We know that that's the menstrual cycle. You know what I mean?
I never knew about that.
Yeah. Okay. Spend more time with the family. I mean, come on.
Myself in the last 5 minutes of this program.
I mean, just check this out. If they were paying you $2 million to be on the sideline with the Patriots and traveling with the team, or you could go, help your 8-year-old kid mow the lawn, which would you want? Which would you do? Come on, spend more time with the family.
We hire someone to help the kid mow the lawn.
Daniel Wages has come in on a play. Hampton plus 3.5.
Okay, there he is. Daniel Wages, Hampton plus 3.5. ChipWins.com. Brian, thank you, buddy. Great show. I look forward to having a great one tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Chip, thank you. We'll see you every chance we get.
Well, just let me know. I'll come.